Hello again, I'm Stephen Jerome, and I'm going to continue reading from my third novel, The London Year. I have a bit of a cold, came back, I don't know, I thought it was gone, and now it's back. This is part 33. Terry has just been welcomed into the new flat. He's left Bert and Carlos in Earl's Court, and he's now about to embark on a whole new chapter of his life. And speaking of chapters, the move out of Earl's Court was quick, painless, and unsentimental. My belongings packed into the same 2 suitcases with which I had arrived. I was hanging up clothes in my new wardrobe when there was a knock at the door. It was Finn. He said Tess and Gracie had cooked up a snack and made a pot of tea if I'd like to come down and join them. When I arrived a few minutes later, Tess was laying out toasted squares of oven-baked cream corn on a serving plate. Gracie was saying, "You haven't even started?" She sounded incredulous. "Lots of sketches," Finn said. "She sat twice for those. Now I'm doodling." Which is a good sign. "Really, Finn?" Tess asked. "Doodling?" "It's my process." Tess just laughed. "So that business about changing the background to bring out her eyes?" "Well, I lied," said Finn, waving me over to join him on the couch. Tess poured me a cup of tea. "Help yourself to the snacks," she said. "Finn was just talking about—" "Let me guess," I said. "Francesca." "Yes, talk to a woman about the color of her eyes, and suddenly it's all they want to hear." "Finn, you really are shameless." "Come on, Gracie, you know you're all suckers for a compliment." "Oh, thank you very much," Gracie replied. "I'll remind myself not to be grateful next time you say something nice." Finn turned to me. "What do you say, Terry? What does a compliment cost after all? Nothing." "Well, that's a pretty stingy way to be generous," I said. Finn laughed. "Well, it got us off the subject of delivery time, didn't it?" "All right," I said, "I'll take the bait. How is the portrait of Francesca coming?" Finn looked at me, almost offended. "Not you too?" "He never wants to talk about it," Tess said, sitting down to join us. "Obviously," said Gracie. "If you must know, I'm having painter's block." "There's no such thing," Tess replied. "Well, maybe there is," I said. "Writers have blocks. I'm not sure photographers do, but—" "Wait," Gracie said. "You're a photographer?" I stopped, lost for words again. "Aspiring," I replied half apologetically. This much was true. I loved photography as much as I loved writing, but I'd all but abandoned my camera. It was too tied up with filmmaking, and that was still a very tender ground. I felt no more claim to saying I was a photographer than I did claiming I was a writer. But Finn couldn't let it go. "That means you're a writer and a photographer." "I can do both, I said, "but yeah, aspiring." "My point is, as an artist, too—" "You can feel my pain," said Finn. Well, we all groaned in unison at that. Tess laughed, heading back to the kitchen for table napkins. "Or maybe misery just loves company," she said over her shoulder. "Wait, I'm not miserable," I said. Finn turned to me with a sigh. "Tess is our in-house therapist, Terry. To her, we're all just neurotic specimens." "Functioning neurotic specimens," Tess corrected, tossing a small stack of paper napkins on the table. "Just like most everyone." "It's the non-functioning part that concerns us, Finn. Whatever's going on up there," meaning in his room, she said, pointing toward the ceiling, "is entirely unhealthy." Finn didn't reply, but took a gulp of his tea. Then Gracie piled on. "You know we can hear you pacing." He turned a dark gaze to her. Something had suddenly tipped too far. I caught the nervous glance between the girls, remembered what Tess had told me about Finn being complicated. Then he softened. "Let's not sour things so soon, dear ladies," nodding my way. "Now that we're all getting along so nicely. Well, it's true, dear Finn, Gracie replied. Apparently, she and Tess were both ready to bring something out in the open. All the back and forth, cursing at yourself? I appreciate your concern, Finn said coldly. We worry, Finn, that's all we're saying, said Tess. We actually do care about you. But the pacing scares me, says Gracie. I'll wear slippers, Finn replied. Really, Finn, we don't even like to bring it up, but then don't, Finn said, shouting. In the awkward moment that followed, he reached for the teapot, but it was empty. I'll put some more water on, Tess said, taking the pot. After a long silence, Finn said, You walk in my slippers for a night, and then we'll talk. But Tess wasn't having it, calling again from the kitchen. That pity the starving artist line doesn't work, Finn. All right, I admit it, I'm not starving, so just give me pity. Even Finn chuckled at his own words. She's a fucking baroness, right? She has all the time in the world. But Francesca's also a friend, said Tess. No need to try her patience. Francesca's a posh cow, Finn said, then turned to me in confidence. We Brits, we're big on farm animals, Terry. It's best you know that early on. Gracie chuckled. Finn, that's so unkind. At that point, I dared to chime in. Well, I liked Francesca. I do too, said Finn. She's, he groped for the word. She's authentic, I said. Exactly, said Finn. She can't help being one of her father's bloody portraits come to life. Okay, I'm going to stop there. We'll continue with part 34 tomorrow. Thank you very much for watching.